All right. Heading out west here. We got 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals. Like, can we just get this off the top right now? Like, we both think the Cardinals are probably going to be picking number one overall next year.
Oh, big time.
Yeah, this is one of the most devoid of talent rosters in the entire NFL, and they were all too happy for Houston to say, "Hey, can we, give you an extra first rounder next year?" Because this could very well be, going out there getting their franchise quarterback, maybe a high name weapon or an impact defensive player, sell Kyler Murray off for spare parts and kind of really hit the reset button. Again, they've got so many holes on their team that it's not just let's get a couple high draft picks next year and suddenly we're competing in 2024. Like, they're going to need a couple years of bottoming out to really turn this thing around. But yeah, Cliff Kingsbury and co did quite a number on this franchise before they left, to say the least.
Before he took off, where did he go? Vietnam on a one-way?
Thailand or something. He went somewhere in Southeast Asia. I think he's just sitting on a beach or something.
My work here is done. I did great.
Yeah.
Arizona's goal this year is to not win a game and have Kyler Murray play enough games before the trade deadline that someone will take him. That's all they're caring about. They'll take picks. They'll take like a bag of cash. They don't care. They just want him off the team. They want to lose. Everyone is going to be available. Someone's going to maybe give a seventh round pick to get James Conner. There's nothing really there on that team anymore. So their over under win total is at 4.5. Are you going over on 5? You think Arizona?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That is free money right there if you want to sign up and just bet the under hard.
Yeah, they finished last year on a 7-game losing streak. I think they're probably going to start this year on a 7-game losing streak as well too.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, from them, like we don't need to spend much more time than that. Like, Caleb Williams of USC, congratulations, you're probably going to the desert. But from there, from there, I'm going Rams for third in the division here. Again, I think there's going to be, if you look at it from a fantasy standpoint, if Cooper Kupp can stay healthy, he's going to be putting up numbers there. From an on-field product, it's tough to reload when you're picking from like the 5th round on every year, right? Like they just had 0 draft picks, any kind of capital. It was all gone. So they really were kind of taking some big swings at some names who, for where they were picking, they did have a decent draft, but are they going to be players that are going to walk in and be day one NFL starters? That's a pretty tall ask out of a bunch of 6th and 7th round picks here. So again, Aaron Donald will be Aaron Donald. He'll probably be in the running for defensive player of the year right up until the very end. If Matthew Stafford can stay healthy, like there's a roadmap that Cooper Kupp could be leading the league in receptions and receiving yards and, possibly even receiving touchdowns, because the chemistry there is very much a real thing. And they just don't have a ton of other weapons beyond that. Like even in their backfield, Sony Michel announces retirement. So it's like Cam Akers and, you might end up seeing some of these high profile free agents that just don't get a contract. And then a week before the season are like, well, I guess I'll sign for, peanuts out west and join the Rams. So there could be some movement on that front. But even if they were to add several free agents, then there are some, not just at running back, but some fairly reputable names still without a contract that doesn't move the needle enough to get them past the Seattles and the San Franciscos of the division.
Yeah, I mean, they had literally no cap space. They sat out free agency despite their aging core. I'm blanking on the number. What is it, like 92 players you bring to training camp, something like that? If you had to guess how many rookies they have at camp, what would your number be? It's insane.
51?
Okay, you went a little high. I didn't think you'd go that high.
Okay.
40 rookies at camp.
Okay. All right. Well, you set me up with it's so insane. I'm like, okay, I got to go above 50% here, but it doesn't surprise me that like literally that many, because who else are you going to bring in? It's either rookies or undrafted free agent, like CFL cast-offs. Like, yeah,
Prick was, I think it was in the third round. And I think they used one of their high picks on like a kicker or something. Like they just have a shit ton of undrafted free agents. They're like, hopefully you can fill a roster spot, buddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really worried about Cup's injury history. That seems to be, seems to be an issue now. He's already left camp. Who knows how long that's going to linger? There's nothing behind him. Cam Akers just seems like he wants to get kicked off the team, and instead they just keep promoting him.
Yeah.
So, like, sure, I guess he's going to be there. Matt Stafford, who knows how many games he can get through before his neck or elbow fall apart. Like, the team just, yeah, they need to rebuild, but they're just too financially tied to all the players to actually do it. So they're kind of stuck.
Yeah. Well, they need to embrace the role that they're in there. And I can't remember what year was it there, but when was it that the Eagles had their open tryouts and then they made the Mark Wahlberg Invincible movie about it there? And they need to start auditioning like construction workers and welders and just get anyone out there. Have some fun with it.
Yeah, you got to get some bodies out there, I guess.
Yeah. So are you going 49ers to repeat the division, or you got the Seahawks jumping them?
Uh, I actually flipped on this quite a bit. And just as we started talking about this division, Elijah Mitchell now has an adductor injury. So there goes a little Niners depth at running back. But they lost some really key free agents this year, especially on defense. Like two big edge rushers. They lost safety Jimmy Ward. They lost Emmanuel Mosley, even though he missed a lot of the season due to injury last year. So like they are going to be a defensive work in progress to start the season, but they're always so good on defense that I don't think it's going to really affect it. I don't think it matters who wins the quarterback competition, if it's Purdy or Darnold. I think they can be effective enough in this offense because all you have to do is just give their good players the ball.
Yeah.
So I ended up settling on the Niners to win the division and Seahawks to be right behind them.
Yeah, it really is a toss up here. And, I know that it was a feel good story last year, Geno Smith redemption tour, they go 9-8, they sneak into the playoffs, all of that. But, Niners put up 13 wins last season and went through every quarterback known to mankind as well, too. Right. So, like, even though they did lose quite a few players, they somehow, and I still don't understand how, this is where salary cap like experts get paid big bucks, because the amount of like circumventions and if we defer this and turn this into a signing bonus and this, that, the other, like
yeah,
it's all Greek to me, but somehow makes sense to them, like how they're able to go out there and add like Hargrave and them to an already very fearsome defensive line. Yeah, they might have lost a little bit in the secondary, but did they get scarier up front? Possibly. So it's tough to see anyone dethroning them. I want in my heart of hearts to say that the Seahawks overtake them. I see them ending up either losing out on a tiebreak or one win behind them. I think it's going to be a dogfight atop that division because, Lockett, Metcalf, and JSN is a really intriguing wide receiver trio there. I think the thing that's really holding me back at this point is just I don't know who their either strength and conditioning coach or medical staff or running backs coach, or if it's all three of them in conjunction. But why can a Seattle Seahawks running back never stay healthy?
I don't know. It's shocking. Like I don't believe in DJ Dallas. I don't know about you, but
no, no one does.
If he's going to be your starting running back, then you're going to have a problem. I think they drafted Charbonnet already, assuming that something else was going to come up with Walker. Otherwise, I don't know why you would use a second round pick on Charbonnet. And now Charbonnet is actually more injured than Walker. So that's kind of an issue. I don't think Geno Smith is going to replicate his amazing season last year.
No.
I think he's going to kind of regress to the mean a little bit, come back down to earth. I don't think he's going to be bad. I think he'll be solid. He struggles to make that like game-winning play when they need it. So kind of in those tight games, which they're going to have in this conference, like he doesn't get those wins, which is why I ended up settling on the Niners just above the Seahawks. But yeah, that trio at wide receiver is exciting.
Yeah.
And the defensive backfield is wild.
Yeah.
Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, Kobe Bryant, Condre Diggs. Like, I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah. Second coming of the Legion of Boom there, right? And I think it's literally because exactly what you mentioned in terms of Geno Smith. He's going to regress, I think, a little bit back towards what we've seen out of his game tape for the first, X number of years of his career, right? Like we know which one's the anomaly and which one to really expect there. But even when he was putting up the numbers last year, like Seattle under Pete Carroll has always been one of the most run heavy teams in the NFL, regardless of who's been back there, right? Whether it's been Marshawn Lynch or Rashad Penny or, Kenneth Walker, all of them have literally had a fairly healthy dose of touches, regardless of who suits up. And just that uncertainty before even week one,
Yeah.
I can't in good conscience put them ahead there. But an interesting thought experiment has nothing to do with the division itself, but just looking around the entire NFC, even if you are to assume that Geno Smith takes a step backwards, how many quarterbacks do you put in the NFC ahead of him right now?
In the NFC ahead of Geno Smith. Gonna go Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
Said that with conviction.
Probably Dak Prescott. A healthy Matt Stafford.
Yeah, it's a big request right there.
Justin Fields for a fantasy perspective.
Yeah, but that's to my point, right? Like the amount that you could confidently be like, yeah, 100%, like, what hurts for sure.
Yeah,
I would say Cousins, as much of a bad rap as he gets, that I would put him ahead of him there, and then outside of that, everyone else has warts. Right? Like, you want friggin' Desmond Ritter or Derek Carr or Bryce Young or like
Jared Goff has been consistent enough the past couple of years. I'd consider that.
Oh, I would take Geno Smith over Jared Goff any day of the week there. Neither one of them is anyone to write home about, but if I had one game to win, I'm going with him. But what's that? Yeah, Kyle Trask. Yeah, there you go. That's if you can beat out Baker Mayfield for the starting position. Like, but that's just it, right? Like Geno Smith, even if he does come back to the mean, is he he could be a top 5 quarterback in the entire conference right there, even with a regression. So there's something to be said about their out of division schedule, and that's where they could probably make up a lot of those wins. And maybe they don't beat the Niners, and the Niners end up getting that tie break that way because they end up beating the Seahawks twice this year, and that could very well be it. But I see them being razor close this year, and you know what? Hey, they could end up being the number 1 overall wild card just based on who else is available in the conference.
Yeah, that defense alone can get them to close to 10 wins. So I just think the Niners will be like 11 wins. I think it's razor close with the Seahawks and Niners, but yeah. I'm excited to watch Seattle's defense play this year.